Hello and how are you, toy sports lovers out there? My name is Robert Gillette, and welcome to conversation number 26 of the Keeping It Real with Robbie podcast, where we chat all things from the mental side of sport to stories, laughs and banter. Whether it's the old pigskin or the old leather ball, we've got you. Today I'm joined by Ross Stone, a mate of mine and a phenomenal human being who has just been selected to go to the Olympics in Tokyo to represent South Africa in water polo. In this chat we explore his Olympic journey, some of the sacrifices it takes to make the Olympics, the pressures, as well as how the whole trial process has matured him. Congrats once again, Ross. Now go enjoy the fun part. I hope you guys enjoy and let me know what you guys think. Cool. I'm very much looking forward to my chat with a mate of mine. And Ross, I say this person with pride, an Olympian, I really do. I have a screenshot of, I was looking through my profile the other day, and the first Instagram video that I posted, you commented, and I was like, oh, I'll see you on soon or whatever. So here we are. And welcome, Bruce. Thanks for joining me. I know you're in isolation. And I know you're probably not as busy as we usually are because of varsity. So thanks for joining me, Bruce. I appreciate it.
Yeah, what a time. Thanks for having me.
Lekker, bro. What emotions are you feeling at the moment now that the dust has settled? What would have been a week ago today? How many days ago?
Yeah, the announcement was on Thursday, so just short of a week.
Well, what emotions are you feeling, bro?
Yeah, to be honest, I mean, the first couple of days were a bit surreal. Couldn't quite believe what happened. But yeah, now that I've taken into mind what's happening, and a couple of days I'm going to be leaving for Tokyo, it's really, really truly special. This feeling that I generally can't explain, got no words. Once in a lifetime opportunity, and yeah, it's finally right in front of me.
21, the next Olympics, like.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see, but.
When do you guys leave?
We set to fly on the 15th of July.
Oh wow!
So
okay.
just over 2 weeks.
And then how long are you guys there for?
So we'll get there. We'll fly the 15th, land on the 16th, and then we have to strict isolation for 2 or 3 days, in our rooms in the village. And then after that, we can get training and go to pool venues and stuff, and then. Opening ceremony is set to be on the 23rd of July, and then our first game is on the 25th. So we've got a couple of days when we're there to train and get used to jet lag and altitude and whatnot.
And how long is the whole game? Like how long is it?
It ends on the 8th of August, but with COVID regulations. Sorry, what's that?
After you boys make the final.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see about that. But the games ends on I think the closing ceremony is on the 8th of August. But you have to leave 48 hours after your last event due to COVID. So we set, I think, to fly back on the 5th or 6th of August. So we'll be there right to the end, just because usually the aquatics and water polo is so long. So
okay, cool. And then, I can't even imagine. It must have felt like a dream when you were watching there with family and friends, live as well. First of all, did you guys have any idea, or was it purely on the news? And then, just maybe how do you reflect on watching it with family and friends?
Yeah, I mean, believe it or not, we actually had no idea. So we were all, as well as the public, had no idea. So I mean, me and you were sitting in the same boat, and everyone else watching. So it was actually really, really tense times, and I think my name came second last, so it was proper anxiety going on there. But I mean, I would have loved to have all my friends and all my family there, but due to COVID, obviously, I have to be quite strict of who I see and who I don't see and whatnot. I mean, I would have loved to have everyone that's been a part of the process and whatnot there, but for those that were there and the family was there, I mean, geez. The celebrations are unbelievable. I think, I had a whole case of beer poured on my head, but
I think I'll get that clip. It was Logan who got it. I think I need to get that clip and put it on here. I went to
those special celebrations.
We were watching, or I was just working in my room, and then I found out that I got a message saying that you made the Olympics. I was like, no way, is that so heat? And then I went on Instagram, obviously, naturally, as we do. And then I saw Logan's story, and I went to my brother. We were just it's so special. Imagine, that must have been insane.
Yeah. No, when I saw my name come up there, it was insane. Before I knew it, I had 5 oaks climbing on me and half a liter of beer poured over me. But yeah, it was just insane.
Not the first time Club Claire's seen that, eh?
No, floors were sticky again.
And then Ross, like, how long has the Olympic process been? And like, how do you even go about getting into trials for the Olympics? Like, because when I posted that video, it was over a year ago, coming up to a year and a half. Like, so how long has the whole process been?
Yeah, I mean, in terms of process of how like getting here, I mean, geez, we could say years of training and whatnot, and goals and a lot of training. But in terms of the actual Olympic process, like we've never really gone. I think we've been once as South Africa back in 1960 or something. Stand to be corrected, but only kind of got told a year and a half ago that we'll be going. So that's when training and the whole process really kicked in. A year and a half ago, just grinding, knowing that I could have the opportunity to go back in the day was just, yeah. As soon as I heard that, I mean, I put in extra hours and just, yeah, continuous work and effort. But yeah, as soon as we heard that we were going, I mean, the whole of the polo community lit up and I think everyone's eyes were opened.
Yeah. So, I mean, I know some of the sacrifice you had to make, but obviously not all of it. What kind of sacrifices, like big or small, were there, like that Oaks didn't see behind the scenes that, like, you genuinely look over? Like a small example, like going for beers or whatever, like something like that. Yeah, just can you comment on maybe some of the sacrifices that you had to make, big or small?
Yeah, I mean, throughout this process, I mean, the main factor that I'm sure is very obvious is obviously COVID and like the extremes that we had to go through the past year and a half with dealing with Olympics and trials and this. And I think I've had about 20 COVID tests, if not more, for training camps and whatnot. And yeah, the sacrifices were just insane. I mean, I couldn't go for a casual beer with mates if I had a camp coming up. Couldn't go to parties, missed parents' birthdays, missed families' birthdays, missed functions. Just because we had a training camp, we had to have a negative test, and just the risk of going out was just too much. So I mean, just staying indoors and seeing close relatives, that was about all of it. And then, yeah, I mean, certain parties and whatnot and functions just wasn't on the cards, to be honest.
And was it lonely? Like that?
I mean, sometimes it did get really lonely, but I mean, you got the backing and support of your mates and family and whatnot. So, and at the end, it was just about having that goal that all of this could be worth it. And here we are. I mean, it was worth it. So
yeah,
many other parties and family birthdays and stuff that I missed over the last year that I'll be joining.
I'm sure.
Yeah, exactly.
What did an average day look like for you? Hey, like in terms of when you were at your busiest, let's say, for training for the Olympics, and then what kind of like did you have to meet? I suppose like standards, like with fitness tests and all that.
Yeah, I mean, with regards to training, at my peak when we were training for final camps and whatnot and final selection, I was training 3 times a day every day for probably about 3 months. With swims in the morning and then gym in the afternoon and training like actual in the pool with ball work in the evenings. I mean, gym, I was swimming at 4:30 in Constantia, Virgin. So, I mean, that was 4 o'clock wake ups every morning. That again comes into the sacrifices. I mean, if you're waking up at 4, you can't go to bed later than 9, otherwise you shattered the next day. So yeah, I mean, training wise, it was pretty hectic over those past couple months. And what was the second half of the question there, sorry?
What sort of like fitness tests and like standards?
Oh yes, yeah. We had to obviously meet certain requirements, and we'd be sent through a bunch of swim sets, leg sets, and like every week, like weekly, we'd be sending in our times, making sure we either getting better or maintaining a certain fitness level. So yeah, every week we had to meet certain requirements and hand them in, and yeah, couldn't slack off at any stage.
And what was like the bulk of your training? Like what was for like an Olympian or a water polo player going to the Olympics? What was like the focus in terms of training? Would it be like legs or like was it swimming?
Yeah, I mean, to start off, it was very much swimming based, just getting that fitness level going, and then once you reach that certain level where you literally just can't get much fitter, but you just maintain it. So getting to that highest fitness level that you could, and then just swimming as much as you can to stay at that level, and then just ball work. I mean, the more you play around the ball, the more it becomes muscle memory, and the more you train it, just become habits when you're in the pool. So I think just getting around to as much pool time was the main goal.
Yeah, and you said like waking up 4:30 or 4 o'clock, training 3 times a day. What, like, is it a lifestyle that you kind of that you enjoyed? I mean, like obviously no one likes getting up at 4 o'clock and a lion, so maybe not something as extreme as that, but has the lifestyle of training, like basically the preparation for the Olympics, but like on a lesser scale, is it something you've enjoyed and it's something it's kind of inherently part of you, or have you had to like kind of kick your ass into gear just for the Olympics, and then once the Olympics is done, it's back to not training, but like normal training?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I've gone through this for a couple of years now. I mean, training, like, it didn't just start this year, training for this Olympics and this journey. Throughout school, I mean, we've had early mornings, not quite 4 a.m, but waking up before school at 6 a.m. to go train, then having a whole day of school and then a whole day of training, and then back to the gym in the evening has kind of been part of my process throughout the years. But I mean, a big wake up call the last year or two when we heard about this Olympics. I mean, it drove me more, as much as it sucked to wake up at 4 and miss a few happy hours at Tiger's Milk and Hudson's. It was motivating for me. I mean, I hated waking up. I'd wake up, go swim, and I'd ride back home before everyone's awake, and I'd go back to bed. So, I mean, it was a proper process and quite hard to get into. But once you're in a routine and when you got a goal in front of you, I think it's that much easier.
Yeah, I was going to ask, like, how much of that was purely motivated by I suppose it was all motivated by making the Olympics. But yeah, what kind of emotions, like, I'd love to know, because it's obviously been a year and a half. It's quite a journey. What emotions did you feel after like every cut? Like the first cut, you go, oh, okay, I can make this, and then the next one, and until like basically when you got announced, like after each cut, how did those emotions differ?
Yeah, I mean, the hardest part was obviously the unknown. I mean, you know nothing. All you know is the amount of effort and what you're putting in. And at the trials, you can only feel so confident and know so much. I mean, along the way, after the trials, the cut, you wait 2 weeks. You don't know if you're going to be in it. It's like, it's all unknown to you. So, I mean, my big part was just about giving my all and just leaving nothing out there and giving them no option not to select me. That was my big thing. Just put it in their hands. So obviously after every cut, seeing my name there was a privilege and just pushed me that much harder. I mean, it went, I think, from 45 to 30 to the final 22, and then on Thursday to the final 13. So yeah, it really, really wasn't easy, but every cut got more and more motivated.
And when did like the penny drop where you were like, I'm in for a shout? You're like, that's a big possibility. I'm on the way to Tokyo.
Yeah, I mean, being, I think, the youngest in the squad, with a couple others the same age as me, was tough going in, for sure. But when I made that final 22, knowing that I'm only 9 spots away from jumping on the plane was truly like special. I mean, special in itself. I mean, if my name wasn't on that live broadcast, I would have been gutted. But at the same time, like top 22 in the country, I would have been happy. But yeah, to see my name on that top 13 was truly honorable.
Yeah. And I think the next question, let's make it twofold. Like, what's the process from now to the Olympic Village? And I forgot the other part, but let's go. What's the process now to the Olympic Village?
Yeah, so I mean, it's actually hell of a tough. You would think we are training as a team and doing everything we can to prepare, but unfortunately, Uncle Cyril has said no to that, and we're in a bit of a predicament. So actually, I'm in isolation at the moment till I leave on the 15th of July, and so is everyone else in the squad. So I mean, you can't have team trainings. I mean, we have live Zoom calls and whatnot. But due to COVID, the risk is just way too high. If we have a pre-tournament bubble of 5 days or so, then and someone comes in with COVID, then we all affected and we can't get on the plane to Japan. So yeah, a big call's been made to not have a pre-camp and whatnot, but it's definitely the safest option. And I think a lot of individuals and athletes, everyone around the world is doing the same. So yeah, I mean, I'm in isolation, but we still can go do our swims and train and hop on the treadmill and row and run and whatnot. Can go to the pool and you're allowed to do passing and shooting and whatnot. Obviously, no physical contact and stuff because you want to lower the chances of that COVID. But at the end of the day, yeah, now it's quite hard because now until the village, I mean, isolation, and then once we're there, another 2-3 strict days of isolation. So it's not the easiest of processes.
Yeah, and are you guys isolated separately? Obviously.
Yeah. So everyone's doing their own thing. Everyone's been told to work from home, isolation. Yeah, it's a big process.
That's quite interesting. So if guys like got actual jobs and are going to the Olympics.
Yeah, I mean, a couple guys in the team do have jobs and are a lot older than myself, but working from home, online, in isolation, and then doing their training where they can.
Wow. And then who's the oldest guy then? Like how old is he?
The oldest guy in our squad is 41.
Wow.
Yeah, he's married, got 2 kids. Bloody bet.
Yeah, big bet. I remember the second fold of that question was like, where to after this Olympics? Like, what do you carry on with the 4:00 in the morning, or do you wait until you share with the next Olympics? Like, where's your head at?
Yeah, I mean, when I get back, I'm definitely taking a little bit of a sabbatical, and I'll enjoy a couple cold ones and whatnot. But after that, I mean, my next goal already in sight is for Paris in 2024. For those Olympics, I mean, then I'll be 2024, and yeah, I mean, I still got a couple of years after that to try and make a couple Olympics if we go and we qualify. But for now is the focus on Japan, but definitely going to be carrying on and pushing through.
Yeah, you've got no excuse to not make the Olympics in like 2040. That looks 41. You can.
Yeah, exactly.
How do you reflect on your Olympic trial process? Like, obviously, it's been tough, but how do you reflect?
Yeah, I mean, as you said, it's been hell of a tough going to camps and training and just jumping in the pool and doing trials. Like it's a lot of pressure on yourself, and yeah, just a lot of pressure in general to make cuts, as we was talking about, and to make the team. But I was super stoked, like with all my camps. I think trial started way back a year ago. And you can only, as I said, like we didn't know a lot, so you can only do so much on actual trials there. But just giving it your all was my main focus.
Did you feel a lot of pressure? And like, if so, where did you think that pressure came from?
I mean, as I said, like I'm one of the youngest there, so there wasn't that much pressure on me.
Yeah.
But I do put a lot of pressure on myself, just because I mean I like pressure. I think I thrive under pressure. So in terms of pressure, it wasn't coming from externalities and friends and family. It was more from myself. So yeah.
Okay, cool. And then Ross, I know, look, I've known you for years, and you've always been this water polo player. How do you reflect on your water polo like journey? from as a child, and then maybe what's like one of your first memories of polo?
Yeah, I mean, as you know, it started way back in prep school, probably about grade 3, where I picked up that ball and started chucking it around. And yeah, I mean, my first memories of polo were playing under 10A as veteran Peter Woodard as my coach. I mean, with a bunch of oaks that probably wouldn't even know how to throw the water polo ball now. I mean, they just got chucked into the pool and said, yeah, you're playing water polo. And we actually were unbeaten. We had an insane side. But yeah, those are my first little memories of water polo. And yeah, from there, just escalated, and I loved the game.
Brilliant. Ross, let's play a game of who is and why with, I think we said for the Olympic boys, eh?
Yeah.
Who is the comedian?
I'd probably say Liam Neal's the comedian on our team. I mean, he's always taking the piss.
Who's the hardest trainer?
I'm going to say myself there.
Good lad. Who is the hardest shot?
Definitely not a Spartanist. I mean, you don't want to get in the way of that thing.
Jeez, I think if he punched you, you'd know about it.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Sounds like a hard bloke. Who's on Orcs? But you guys haven't really been together, have you?
We haven't, but I think our go-to man will be Yasin Margo. He likes a good track, and I know he's always listening to music, so I think we'll chuck him the speaker.
Not you, though. I'm sure they don't want to be listening to like Olivia
No.
and all those guys.
No, unless you want to listen to Robbie Williams on repeat, then I'll play.
Sign me up. Who's your roommate? Oh, you don't have a roommate. Well, you have a roommate at Olympics, or you not?
Yeah, I mean, once we're there in the village, we'll have a roommate, but I'm not sure who that is going to be just yet.
Ideal roommate?
Anyone, I'm easy. We're all a bunch of close 13, so I think we pretty much going to all be living together, but yeah, we'll see when we're there.
Lekker. And then a word game. So the first like phrase or word that comes to your mind, say it. If it's rude or offensive, we'll cut it out. Olympics.
Just one word, huh?
No, it can be a word or phrase, but not a sentence.
Yeah. Okay.
Olympics.
Village, bunnies.
You don't have to say you don't have to say it straight away. You can give it some thought. Club Claire.
Jules, beers, champagne.
Champagne. Polo.
Team, hard work, Olympics.
Bosch.
Friends, pride, and a big community.
Your family.
Legends helped me so much and get me through all of this.
Your why.
To be the best.
Tokyo.
Insane, can't wait. It's going to be absolute, once in a lifetime experience.
Cricket.
Catching Justin Broad in the slips next to Robbie G.
I knew you were going to say that. I wish we had that on flipping tape. Bro.
Yeah. I think it would have gone down as one of the best catches.
It would have gone viral. Like if you posted on TikTok, probably.
Yeah. Straight on to uni, lad.
Cool. Let's do a Q&A, Ross. There are quite a lot of questions. Some we had to take out. But I think let's start with this one. Like, who's the best player you've ever played with, and who's the best coach you've ever had the privilege of coaching you?
I think in terms of player, like throughout school, I'd probably say Jono Swanepoel. I mean, he's been my training partner and that I played through school, and just helped me be the best I could be, and assisting and whatnot. And in terms of like the bigger picture, I'd say a guy named Miche from Croatia. He's a bloody vet, and he came down to Rondebosch and coached for 2 years or so. I mean, we were playing with him, and in club, he was insane. Learned a lot from him.
Where does your polo inspiration come from?
Sure. I mean, to be honest, as I said, when I started back in grade 3 or 4, whatever, the reason I was playing was just because I think my brother was playing it. I mean, he was in grade 7, and I was like, every time he was training, like with the first team, I'd just jump in as like this grade 3 or 4, and I'd be like, who's this like?
Now you can say
Um, yeah, I was like, who's this like? So I just, yeah, back from then, that's the reason I played, and then yeah, from there it just escalated.
that's the right answer because you sent it in. What have been your top 3 moments of your polo career so far?
Sure. It's been a couple, but I would say my top three would probably be in Matric night series game. I think you may have landed up in the water in your uniform that day, but yeah, I mean, I think we were 3 goals down to Bishops, having not lost before, with about 2 minutes to go. And yeah, we ended up taking 3 goals and taking it to penalties with like literally 1 minute to go, and you had 2 goals. Don't know how, but we scored them and ended up winning. So that was quite insane. And then I'd say at under 20 World Cup in Kuwait, when we beat Brazil, first time we've beaten Brazil at under 20s. I stand to be corrected, but yeah, that was insane. Last couple seconds victory. Yeah, it was special. And then thirdly, I'd probably say watching that live broadcast, seeing my name there the other day.
Okay, oh, cool. What has the step up been from high school into the national setup?
Yeah, to be honest, it actually is very big. I didn't think it was going to be. I thought I'd be able to hop on the bandwagon and just get along with it. But in terms of playing style, like you really do have to mature, and you can't just be so erratic and free flowing like you are at school. Just because when you get to the national setup and everything, there is not really a weakest link. Everyone's strong, so you kind of got to be more mature and play a different game and just adapt. I mean, I think the big thing is adapting to the style of polo once you leave school. But if you commit to, as I said, commit to adapting and to a little bit of change in your game, then it's sorted.
That's quite an interesting thing you touched on there about maturing. Do you think this, like Olympic trials and this process, has matured you in some way?
Yeah, for sure. I mean,
and in terms of how has it matured you?
Yeah. I mean, being there as the youngest, seeing like all these seniors definitely helps. I mean, in the sense of maturing and the way I play, and just even out the pool. I mean, seeing the things they do and the things they say to you, they're all great leaders in their souls. And obviously experience. You can't buy experience. I mean, just hanging around them just helps that much. And in terms of how, it's just, yeah, as I said, in the pool, it can really help. I mean, adapting to certain game styles and just playing under them is quite nice. And just out of the pool as well, just becoming more mature in the sense of just understanding life after like experienced guys like that. I mean, 41-year-olds that have been through a lot more than I have. So I mean, just taking tips and whatnot where you can.
Yeah, no, for sure. I can imagine it must have matured. Like, I think even in the sense of just creating or teaching you routine and like, I think what I've realized is like the more you're consistent, the more shit falls into place. Like that's when things start happening and you know, like you can get on with things properly and you get the ball rolling. So yeah, that's insane. How much inspiration did you draw from Charlie Thornton Dibb?
Charlie, I mean, I arrived quite late to Stellies in his career. I think I was played with him for a year, but yeah, what a legend. I think because I think I broke his bucky after one of our fine sessions. I don't think he's too stoked about that. But in terms of playing with him, yeah, proper legend and proper clear soak.
Will anything be more iconic than the 40-meter drop goal that won the trophy for the NATOs? I don't
I
know
don't
why they
think so,
said
bro.
40 meters, because we were about like maybe 10 meters out or something.
I think
What I
45, that I was mistaken there.
Wasn't it like 63 or something?
Yeah. No, I mean, yeah, that was special. I
Yeah.
think I had as much, if not more, beer that night than Thursday.
How much? How do you think the LARPer robot specials helped you to get to where you are now?
Sure, that's a great question.
Probably like the way not to do it, eh? Like how not to get it.
Probably the way not to do it, but we do it. So, as long as you're downing the orange first and then sipping on the other two, I think you're in for a good time.
Or like as the night goes on, just ditch the orange. Like
Yeah, straight down.
Having done all the Olympic camps and been through such rigorous training, rigorous, I don't know.
What you want.
Yeah. How have you managed to maintain such a B-Tech rig?
Yeah, I mean, a little bit of this and a little bit of that. A lot of training, a lot of drinking, a lot of eating.
Yeah.
So I mean, just everything in a little bit of balance, huh?
And then, are you an ace cuss? I don't even know what that is, but yeah.
That's definitely Richie Berger, but yeah, I'm an ace cuss for you.
Okay. Awesome. Ross, Brew, thanks so much. I really appreciate it. It's been such a cool chat, and just to get your your perspectives and your journey has been flipping awesome. And for me, even to understand, just as a mate of yours, to understand the sacrifice and what you've been through. And yeah, Brew, now it's time for the exciting part, hey? Like, surely you guys just flipping buzzing. I'm buzzing to watch, bro. I'm gonna have a lot of beer, and yeah, I'll just be in your corner, and I can't wait, Bruce. So well done. And again, thanks so much. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, Bruce. Firstly, thanks for having me on here. What a privilege, and so lekker to chat with you. And yeah, I mean, it was proper, super excited to chat with you tonight. And then yeah, in terms of the Olympics, I'm super stoked. I can't wait. I just want to get out of this flipping isolation and hop on the plane.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, the time difference that side's quite big. So I think our first 3 games are like 3 a.m. in South Africa time. So best you have a lot of beers and posties, and then you can watch us.
Last time I was at Club Clear, I think I went to bed at like 5:15. So I think we'll be good, bro.
I think you'll be sorted, yeah. I don't think we're going to have a problem there.